It's True Crime Tuesday. I can only do politics for so long, Diego. And,
yeah.
Well, speaking of killers, that's why we're here today. I remember the day that they put Gacy to death.
I watched it on TV.
And Pogo the Clown, I had to pull this up because what the hell kind of parent would hire this guy? That Gacy was a very prominent Democrat. I think the worst way to die is death by serial killer. So I want to know who they are. I want to know how to spot them. I want to know what they do and how they act. And I feel like every time I get to know one of these guys and I dig into their, how their MO and how they did stuff, I end up going, they would have got me. Like I have no clue. I would not have known. This is a bullet would solve this problem. Like if the state is going to kill you, please make it quick. Do you remember Rolando Cruz? DNA evidence many years later proved it wasn't him. $20 million, and he ended up moving right next to me, Diego. Right next to me.
He's innocent. He didn't do it.
On November 13th, sometime between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., 4 University of Idaho students were brutally murdered by stabbing as they slept after a late night out on the towns. This is what you should do before you run with anything like this. What we need to do, because our sourcing is not great, is just call and find out. Can you transfer me to the public information officer, please?
Are you at the media?
Yes. You know what? I'm never going to get rich at this game because I'm just not cold-hearted enough to run with wild theories just for the clicks. And so if you enjoy accuracy, even if it's not the sexiest thing you've ever seen, maybe my content is for you. All right, good morning. How is everyone today? It's True Crime Tuesday. Welcome to the show. I've got something talking in my ears and I have to figure out what it is. It's driving me crazy. It's a Fox News article I have open. Don't you hate it when they start those videos and you didn't consent? I don't give you my consent, Fox News, to put videos in my ear when I'm not expecting it. Make sure you hit that like button on YouTube and subscribe. And if you're on Rumble, hit that plus, please, because we need to get this thing trending and share the stream. We are talking today to Joe Raffa. Joe is a retired veteran from the LA Sheriff's Department. He was a deputy in homicide for many years, and he joins us again today because he's like the most interesting guy I've talked to in a long time, and I wanted him to come back, and I know you did too. Welcome, Joe. How are you today?
Good morning, Megan. Fine. Yourself?
I'm good. I got some chicken chili in the slow cooker this morning. And so I don't have to worry about running around at the last minute to make dinner for the troops here. And if you're on with me on Locals on meganfox.locals.com, you got to watch me do that this morning because I had a pre-stream and we made chicken chili. So I think it's going to be pretty good. What are you having for dinner, Joe? You got plans?
I don't know yet. My wife isn't up yet. I'll find out.
Is she a good cook?
Yeah, she does pretty well.
Yeah.
Look at me.
How long?
I'm not starving.
How long have you been married?
33 years next month.
Oh, wow. So does that mean, was she married to you while you were running around LA searching for serial killers?
We got married in 90. I started homicide in 80.
So yeah. So how did she deal with that? I bet that was pretty difficult.
No, she's pretty level-headed. She didn't have much of a problem with it, and she's from LA, so I mean, she's kind of familiar with the antics. It doesn't really do much to her that way. So.
Yeah, Iron Dog says, "What happened on Nick's birthday stream was a true crime in itself." That's funny. We had some drama here, Joe, on another stream. You don't wanna hear about it. It was stupid. Trust me, you don't wanna hear about it. But I will tell you, I haven't really been paying attention to what's going on in Idaho, but I decided to Google it to see, do we have any new information on the quadruple homicide, which when you think about it, this is such an unusual thing, to have a quadruple homicide, just
Especially a stabbing.
and a stabbing, right?
I
It's
mean,
weird,
shooting
isn't
it's a
it?
lot more sensible. I mean, for if you're going to kill four people, with a knife, you can be overpowered pretty
That's
easily.
risky.
So,
It's very
yeah,
risky. What
yeah.
do you think about the type of killer that uses a knife and kills four people like that? What do you think motivation might be, or the type
Well,
of killer you're looking for?
the thing I said in the beginning was it's either a stranger that has stalked them and did them, or it's somebody they know. We haven't seen any other cases around that area or in that general area similar to it. Nobody else has been stabbed. No, that would draw anybody's
Well,
attention.
there were the skin dog, though, and the butchered rabbit right
Oh, okay.
in the same town. This family in October before the murders. So in October, around the 23rd, this family had let their dog outside and he didn't come back. And so they went out looking, and the dog was on their yard, completely skinned and gutted, filleted like a fish.
Wow.
And they determined that it was a human being that did it. Nobody was ever arrested for it. And the man who owns the dog also said that he found a rabbit with his ears sliced off, like with a knife, and his head cut open, and his head pulled back so that the brain was exposed.
Scalped.
Yeah, really weird. Iron Dog
Well,
says there is new information on the Idaho 4, something to do with the Hyundai. So I'll look for that. Go ahead, Joe.
that's what I was going to say. The only thing I saw was the video about the white Elantra Hyundai. Is it a Hyundai? Going by the gas station, but I mean that's kind of vague.
That's very
you know,
big. So that's all we have. It's just a gas station
that's all I saw on the news.
CCTV. This is what
But
I pulled this up. This was posted 16 hours ago on Fox News. Moscow police are asking the public for information about a white Hyundai Elantra spotted near the crime scene. Well, we knew that. This is old. I mean, I don't understand why this is that new. Just because they have some video of it.
I guess they're looking at everybody's got video now, so they have to go everywhere looking for video or getting people conscious to look at their own videos to see if they see anything suspicious. But I mean, what's suspicious? Yeah. Cars driving down the street. It's a college town. College kids are going to be up late. They go out, drink, they have a good time. And was this on a weekend or was it during the middle of the week? I don't remember.
Well, let's see. It was November 24th, so I think it was the 24th. So what day of the week was that? I'll look at my calendar.
I'm just saying, if it was a weekend, then it's going to be even more party time. You're going to have people out and about all the time.
It was right before break, so I wonder. Yeah. Oh, if it was the 23rd or the 24th, it was a Wednesday or a Thursday, but that was right before the holiday break.
So then they're doing.
They're partying like crazy. Just finishing exams and getting the hell out of town.
Well, so cars going by aren't that big a deal. But the other thing I was going to say, if you don't have somebody that's committing crimes in a serial killer where you can see, well, got one over here, you have one over here, do they match up? Then you're looking at somebody that they know. It's somebody just doesn't walk in a house and kill four people for no reason at all.
No. It is interesting, though, that the owner of the car hasn't come forward if it wasn't related to the crime. You'd think they would have heard about it already. So the police are being criticized on this Fox News article. It says the mere fact that within 24 hours of the murder of these four college students, they were able to identify that there was a white or light colored car in the vicinity that they needed to try to identify. You do not wait 3 weeks, Williams said of Friends Stedich's footage. You immediately put that information out there to the public. Every nugget of information that is gathered by law enforcement is not going to pay off. When it comes to evidence of a car, that was in the neighborhood, perhaps you must immediately act on that information. Do you agree with that? Do you think they waited too long to tell people about the car?
Well, if the car means anything, it's an Elantra. I mean, there's probably a bunch of white Elantras around. Like a Hyundai is a popular car. I mean, it's not like you're looking for a unique car and you don't want anybody to know about it. A Hyundai Elantra, a white one, you put it out. If there's people that know about it, they're going to tell you. If they don't, I mean, there are people that wouldn't tell you, even if they knew that that was the car. You know, it was their car. They just wouldn't tell you because they don't want to get involved.
They don't want to get involved. So it says that the former DC detective also criticized the fact that a Moscow gas station clerk found video footage of a white sedan passing by in the early morning hours of November 13th before police did. Well, it's his footage, so I would imagine that he would find it before they did. Because
that's what I say. There's so many. How many houses have a Ring doorbell on the front that pictures it going by, or other things that could see it if they have the video? There's a lot of homes, small businesses, that have cameras around.
Well, hopefully everybody's checking for these things on their Ring cameras, etc. It looks like the car passed, let's see, it was a mile. The gas station was a mile away from the crime scene, and a clerk saw the white sedan passing by at 3:45 a.m. on the night of the unsolved stabbing deaths. I mean, that is around the same time of the murders, is what they were saying. He says there's no way to know that law enforcement, knowing there may very well be video in the area, that a clerk at a gas station should be canvassing a video for valuable information needed by law enforcement. Yeah,
everybody should be looking at their videos.
Everyone should be looking at like you said, the Ring cameras, the security cameras, like everybody should be looking on that night. Oh, sorry, it wasn't the 23rd. It was the 13th, November 13th.
So that's 10 days earlier. So it's
November.
More towards the beginning of the week.
Yeah, it was
23rd is 16th would have been Wednesday. So Sunday, it was Sunday probably.
The 13th was Sunday. Yeah. Yep.
Well, with cameras, we had in a Home Depot in San Fernando, a young armored car guard was shot and killed in the Home Depot, and they went out the back door to get away, the shooter. So we went around to see if anybody had video cameras, and there was a warehouse across the street that had a video camera. And we watched that video camera, and it scanned. So every so many seconds, it would come across that backyard and show you the back door at the Home Depot. We never saw the guy. He went out a few seconds in between. He went out, and we never saw him. I mean, and that happened twice to us, where we had a video camera shooting a shot, or even a still camera shots every so many seconds, and never saw the guy. We saw everything around him, but never saw the guy that did it. That happens. So.
Oh gosh, it's unbelievable that this kind of crime. I would find it easier to believe that this crime is unsolvable if it were a gun crime. The fact that it is a stabbing, so messy, so many people, how is there not a blood trail everywhere? Footprints, something. That person had to be covered in blood. I'm shocked that there was just nothing. We got
footprints, like you say, or sometimes with a knife, the person using the knife gets cut. When
that's what I was.
Sometimes they hand.
Yeah, because you get slippery, and it happens. Of course, now there was some. I think it snowed that night, so it's possible that if anything,
in Idaho.
Yeah, it's possible that if there were footprints, they could have been covered up by the snow before the police got there, before they were found, because it was a full 8 hours before they were found by the roommates. So this is just an unbelievable case.
I know, it's scary.
In 2022, you just don't expect this kind of thing to happen and go, we don't have any clue.
Well, I imagine they have something, but until somebody gives them hard information about somebody that's likely responsible for this, it's going to be pretty hard for them to do anything. I mean, the chances of finding blood, 4 people stabbed, and you're looking for a 5th person's blood in all that mess, that's not easy. I mean, you'd have to talk to a blood expert, but that'd be pretty difficult, you know.
So this is, I guess, the footage from the Elantra from the gas station. This is one of a still shot from that, going by at 3:45 a.m. on the morning of the stabbings. And it's just, this case is a head scratcher. It just is, it's incredible. There are 22 FBI agents working on this case, including sheriff's department detectives and local police. And it's just, I mean, have they even had any kind of, I wonder if there's been any press conferences. I think that's what was playing when I turned this on. I think this might be the most recent one. Let's hear what they have to say.
This is the police chief.
Yeah. Whoa.
We've had right around 10,000 tips come in. We're reviewing all those.
Wow,
tips.
that's amazing.
We're checking to ensure that we have individuals who look at those tips and any piece of evidence that they can link to this case, they're doing so.
What about the video evidence? How is that reviewed? What do you do with it?
So we have a special team of individuals who are skilled at watching videos, collecting evidence and information out of those videos and linking them together so that we can tie every piece together for this investigation.
What do you have for an update about the white Hyundai Elantra?
We have many tips that have come in on the 2011 to the 2013 Hyundai Elantra. But what we're asking is anybody else who still hasn't sent in a tip, if you own one or if you know somebody who was driving one the day before or the day after, to please send that tip in.
What about the holidays? What does that mean for the investigation and all the people working on it?
That does not change anything for us. We're going to continue to push through the holidays. We have a team that will continue to do the investigation and work on that as we move through the holidays.
And finally, why is it important to keep video digital submissions part of the investigation as it's sorted through?
Well, as our individuals are sorting through that, all that information could be one key piece for this investigation. So they're reviewing all that. They're looking at that. They're looking for any keys that tie together any specific investigative pieces that we need to solve this case.
All right. So Iron Dog is saying that they have found a wrecked Elantra in Oregon. Let me see. Let's see if I can find that. That would be weird. This case is so nuts.
Well, the thing, what he was talking about, first of all, in that picture that we saw, you can see the front of the car, but I don't know if they can clear that up enough to tell if it's an Idaho license plate.
I would hope they could. I would hope they could find something with it. Well, here's another thing. There's only one way in and out of that town.
Oh, okay.
And it's well, I mean, there might be two, but they're big state highways. It's like there's a state highway, and there are cameras on the light cameras. You know, the stoplights. They have,
okay, yeah.
They have red light cameras there. I don't
know.
So
you had to pass through there.
Do they go off only when you go through a red, or are they filming all the time? That's a question I don't know the answer to.
Or are they sensors or cameras? They might be sensors.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. But there are.
I don't know if they film everything.
Yeah, they probably don't. They probably don't.
I wouldn't think so. It's a lot of, but you know, he's got 10,000 tips. You have any idea how long it's going to be before they get near getting any of those finished? I mean, it's that we had over 2,000 in 2 weeks. And he's got 10,000 in what, a month? And
yeah,
I don't care how many people they have. There's 2-man teams working all those tips. It's going to take them forever to get through those tips. You know, they'll be doing it next year. And, you know, whether or not they have anybody, they have to follow all those tips up. They can't just ignore them. So it's not easy. And they're really in a bad spot because they don't have a suspect, and they don't have anybody telling them who might be a suspect unless they haven't put that information out. But they wouldn't if they had that anyway. I mean, how do you, you know, and then the holidays are coming, and he says we're going to work through the holidays, but all the people there are going to leave. That's a college town.
Well, that happened right after the murder. I mean, right after the murder, everybody left and went home, and that had to have thrown a wrench in it too, because if you're trying to canvass to ask who saw what, and they're gone, and what about memories of witnesses? What do you say about that, Joe? I mean,
memory of witnesses is always questionable. I mean, people think that you can't let people be together because then they'll meld their memories together, and then you don't have a story at all. If you keep it, you take when you said they went home, the first thought I had is, say a young girl has an idea who maybe might have done this, so she goes home. Her parents tells her parents what she thinks. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
we don't want you to get hurt.
We don't want you involved, right?
Yeah,
yeah. That's very possible.
That's going to happen to a lot of people, unless you have somebody that's a little more mature. And says, well, I've got to come forward because this is important, and if they do, fine. If they don't, you're stuck again, So it's not easy. I mean, it sounds like it's easy, or you watch the movies and it's easy, but until somebody gives you some information that means something, you're just guessing,
All right, there is
maybe more educated guessing, but you're still guessing.
There is new footage of one of the victims that we haven't seen here before. This is new. This is surveillance video. Hold on, let's see. That seems to
by the truck.
No, this is
truck?
Oops, wrong one. This is not the food truck one. This is a different. This is a different one that appears to show one of the victims on the street. It says full surveillance video appears to show Kaylee Gonsalves and Maddie Mogan walking in downtown Moscow hours before the murders. In the video, you hear, Maddie, what did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything. So let's play it.
Yeah, that's right after or before the food truck. What did you say to Adam?
I told Adam everything. Who's Adam?
I think they already checked Adam out.
Have they?
Yeah, and they said he wasn't a suspect.
No, they say that about everybody, though.
I know. Well, what are you going to do? If they don't have anything to connect him, just the fact that how many people they talk to a day. I mean, it's and girls are girls. They love to talk about boys and stuff like that. And I told Adam about everything. It's so innocuous.
It could be anything. All right, there's another one. Let's see. There's part 2 of this, which I haven't seen yet either. So let's pull that up. Part 2 of this says, Moscow, Idaho police say they've looked at massive amounts of surveillance footage, especially in the critical camera areas, and are extending their perimeter out further. FBI teams across the nation are reviewing footage from the Moscow area. Brian, look into this. When cop number 2 chases after the teens, you can hear some argument going on. Sounds like it's happening at Sigma Chai House. Stop it, words. That's where Xana and Ethan were that night, and it's the killing hour. What was happening here? All right, we'll see. This is on Law and Crime. I can't hear anything. There we go.
Here goes, no. Are they stopping?
No, they just took off. I told them to stop, but I'm not going to push it.
Hey, Moscow police, come back here. Hey, Moscow PD, all 3 of you. You 2 up there. Hey, man, come back here. How old are you guys?
Oh, sir.
How old are you guys? Taking out 21?
Yeah. 19.
Okay. 19?
Yep.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
We saw him talking to him, so we didn't know.
Did you hear anything? I didn't hear anything in that. What was I supposed to hear? Right here? Was it right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
At the very beginning, we were talking, but
right here. If you listen in the background, you can hear someone saying stop.
19?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you hear that? I'm going to back it up again.
a female voice yelling stop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. 19?
Yep.
Okay, is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Stop it, stop. I heard that. Okay.
How far is this from the scene?
Very close. So where these boys are standing here, the house is directly across here this way. It's behind them. Across this field, that's where the house is. So I don't know. I mean, and this was some of this footage from the police body cam appeared to show what looked like car headlights in the driveway of that house, next to the house on the side. It looked like parking, like lights appeared and then disappeared or went off next to the house. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is just like, yeah, I agree with you. New York Marine says, doesn't sound like much though. Usually people being murdered are a little more distressed. I think
That's what I was just going to say. She's absolutely correct.
Yeah, I think I don't think that they were. I think it might have. They were saying there might have been a fight that happened, and maybe they were just fighting between themselves before something bad happened. I don't know, but they sure don't seem to have a lot to go on in this case, and it's I'm losing faith that this is going to get solved anytime soon.
Do you have a photo or a video of where they said they saw the headlights for the car?
Yeah. Let me pull that up. That's that should be.
Because I'll tell you, we had a Manhattan Police Department, a Manhattan police officer killed, and one of the videos we had from the bank cameras, there was 4 banks, showed the car coming up the street, the murderer's car, and I can't remember the name of the company, but it was an aerospace company in El Segundo that came up there, and we had people bring their foreign cars up, small vehicles, and we had plenty of them came, and they set up and actually matched the headlights and the tires, the wheels, the video that we had at different, and it was a Daihatsu, if you remember them. They didn't last that long, but he was driving a Daihatsu and they figured it out. They even figured out which colors it could be.
Wow.
So, I mean, if they have a view of the headlights, maybe they can, somebody could do that, but that's just one part.
It's very dim. I'll show you. I'm going to slow it down so you can see where it appears because it's very dim and it lasts for a very short period of time.
There's a tail light there or something.
Yeah, that's the car. That's a car going in front of the apartment building. I'm going to slow it down. I got it. There we go. All right. All right.
Oh, so, I see it. Yeah.
Wait, no, that's not it. I need to back up. I need to back up a bit. Okay. That is her. This is the house right here. Okay. The headlights are going to appear on to the left right there. And I'm not, let me back up a bit. It's so far away.
Yeah.
That I don't know if it's going to be helpful, but like, okay, so there it is. And then on the side of it, is it this part? Am I wrong, you guys? I think it's this one. Or maybe that's the first. Am I on the wrong one? Now I don't see. It's not doing. I think this is it. And then it just moved away. But see, I don't think that's it because the one I saw, the headlights disappeared. So let me check and see. Let me check and see where they're.
I'm just saying that's something that you can look at. I don't know how. Just the headlights themselves wouldn't be very effective.
If you had a clear shot of them, like what?
Yeah, angle and all.
What we're seeing here is just lights in the distance, and I don't know how anybody could.
No, in our case, it was very close. Maybe 100 feet or something like that. So
I think. Let me see. Let me keep going forward because there was I think I have a breakdown of it that I saved from the other day that I didn't show people.
Where's this video coming from?
The police. This is their body cam footage. They were talking to those students, the same students in the field. This is that same body cam footage.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Same body cam footage. It was around the same time that they think the murders may have occurred, either then or shortly after then. And it looks like there's a light. I think that's the house with the light on in the window.
Here?
Yeah, over here.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for the part where the headlights appear and then seem to go away.
Oh, what the lady there said about not being that excited when she was yelling stop, you're right, it could be a fight, where they would be excited but not, stop it, maybe they were arguing or whatever, but you don't hear any other noise other than her saying stop.
Okay, yeah, small victories. I may have the wrong view of this because that could have been the frat house because I saw the logo on that too. Let me go and see because there's a TikToker or somebody who slowed it down and you could see the
headlights.
You could see the headlights. So it was on last week's, I think, my last week notes. So let me pull those up and see what I got. No, I guess it was the week before. Hold on. Because it is kind of interesting. I just don't know how relevant it is. Let's see. Here it is. Dylan, no. There's a guy who did a video. I'll keep looking. I might be able to find it. Unfortunately, this one, Law and Crime did some weird stuff to it, and they blurred some stuff out, so you can't see. You can't see what we saw in the one that was not blurred out.
Oh, okay.
And for whatever reason, I don't know why they did that. I guess because the people they were talking to, they didn't want us to see their faces. But then they're also blurring out, behind him.
All the important stuff.
All the important stuff that does not, let me see if I can find it because the headlights, it was kind of interesting. But yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad what is going on here and that nobody seems to have any idea what happened.
An investigation is like, I remember I said about Dragnet being boring. It's door to door to door. And especially in this case, it is door to door to door. You've got to talk to almost everybody within a mile of that thing, where they saw or heard something. And it gets down to where you don't have anything. If you don't have anything, you got to start a whole new area to look at.
Oh God, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes right now. I'll tell you that much. It's got to be
it's
extremely difficult.
Well, I think fortunately it's kind of toning down with Christmas coming. People are going to be distracted and won't be paying as much attention. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The national attention is going to shrink. To some extent. So.
But of course, that's a double-edged sword too, because with less people looking at it, you might miss something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean the attention on the police department itself.
Sure, but
that'll come down a little bit. Give them a break. But.
Maybe they need some attention, though. Maybe they need more attention. I don't know. Here we go.
Put a fire under them.
All right, this is it. This is the footage. I found it. I found the good footage. Okay, so let me make it bigger so you can see it, and I'm going to slow it down. Oh
yeah, they don't have the big blur they had.
Okay, let's see now. I think if we move, okay, it's like right in it's very quick. I'm waiting to see where it happened. Was it because you can see lights appear and then they disappear.
Where's the house we're looking at?
I think it's here. I think it's over here. Or here. It's here or there. See, there's a light there, but that's not it. There's two lights that appear that look in the distance like headlights. But we're going slow because I've got it slowed down so we don't miss it.
Yeah. Let's
just keep your eyes open for two headlights that pop in and then pop out. because it's wherever those headlights are, that's the house.
Is this the officer running? Is that what?
I don't know why he's moving so much. No, he's not running. I don't know what the heck he's doing. There, wait. Did that? Nope, that's not it. Same light. That's still the same light.
There was two right here, but it kind of came and went. But see, this one, the one's too bright on the right side from our left.
Yeah, that I don't know what that is. I don't think those are headlights, though. I think
No,
that's
they're
a different.
stationary.
They're stationary, yeah. But there is a part where two headlights come in.
Right there.
I don't think so. Because you see them and then they go off, or the car moves. You can't really tell. Like, does it back up? Does it? God, this is driving me crazy. I should have written the timestamp down.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been helpful.
Well,
Here, I'll speed it up.
If you're not busy.
I'll speed it up to normal speed. See if I can see it and then stop it. So he's walking. That's why his camera is going so.
Okay, he is moving.
Nutty. He's moving. So at least he's moving towards the house, though. Maybe he'll get closer. I seem to remember it being towards the end.
What is this big building? It looks like a
I think
big
that
building.
might be the fraternity. That's it. Oh, you guys, this is driving me crazy. Because I've seen it.
You're sure, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure. And it was on this video because that's why I linked it. That's why I saved it. And I'm pretty sure it's in this area. So let me slow down that last part. It's weird. I mean, I can't imagine sitting around and looking at this stuff all day trying to figure this out. It's got to kill them that they had police there right around the time that they think these murders occurred, and they don't have anything. There it is.
Do it again.
All right. So right over here.
Okay.
Do you see this? This light is there now, but it's not there at the end. Like, look here. It's gone. There. Let's go forward. And now it's gone. See that?
Right over here. All the way to the right. Is that where you're talking?
Yeah, I think so.
Next to the
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't really see anything.
It's hard. This is there. Now it's gone. See? It was there and now it's gone. All the way over to the right. But see, let me see if I can pause on it. Right there.
Well, that's the two we were looking at. That one's brighter than the other.
There.
Now that's different. So there's the two where the one on our left is brighter.
Yeah,
but that's been there the whole time.
It's tough. I swear, this video is driving me crazy because like a week ago, and if you look, if you guys look, let's see, what is the chat saying? Did you guys find it for me? See the main horizontal row of lights on apartment building, then the block of building lights slightly lit, then house. Yeah, so here's apartment buildings here. Then
this part.
The block of building slightly lit, and then the house is next to that, all the way on the right side. Yeah, it's very tough because the camera keeps moving.
And that's pretty far away too. It's not very close.
it's not close, and that's what makes it so difficult. It's too bad they don't have. I believe this is the house over here.
Yeah.
So you've got the apartment buildings here.
And they got a lot of light on the front of the house too.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys. Am I pointing at the wrong house? Is that the one? Is the one I think it is? Is that the one? I don't know. With so little to go on, this is the thing. It's like, how is this ever going to get solved? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of did you ever hear about the Lane Bryant murders in Tinley Park?
Where's that?
In Illinois.
No.
Oh, this was a terrible story. I was living I think I was in Tinley Park at the time. I think I might have been living there when it happened. It was a terrible shooting that remained unsolved for a very long time that left 5 women dead in a Lane Bryant on the south side of Chicago suburbs.
Wow.
And the weird part was, I mean, there were cameras absolutely everywhere, right? Cameras everywhere. And yet this guy manages to not be seen. I don't believe he was seen on the cameras, or if he was, they couldn't identify him. But here, I'll show you. This is why it reminds me of it, because you would have thought there was no way someone could get away with this. It says Wednesday marks 14 years since 5 women were shot to death inside a Tinley Park Lane Bryant store. The case remains unsolved, but 2 detectives are now working the case, trying to finally bring closure. A TJ Maxx store now sits at the site of what in 2008 was Lane Bryant in Tinley Park. On February 2, 2008, a man posing as a delivery worker killed 5 women there and left a 6th for dead. Rhoda McFarland was the store manager at Lane Bryant. It was she who opened the store just minutes before the shooter walked in, herded the 6 women to the back room, tied them up, and shot them execution style. I can't believe it's been 14 years, said Morris Hamilton, McFarland's brother. It kind of zoomed by, but the experience is still there. McFarland made the 911 call that alerted police to what was going on. The first officer arrived within 2 minutes, but it was already too late. And then there was like a big manhunt for him, and he ran around through the neighborhood for a while, and yet he still got away. I mean, it just...
And the cameras didn't catch him. Huh? They didn't.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't remember them ever saying that he was caught on camera. They had a description of him. They had a description of a man, a black man with braids. I remember that. I remember there was a drawing. But I mean, honestly, if he just left and never talked about it again and never told anybody that he did it, he's going to get away with it. And
they never found him. They never found him, huh?
No, they never found him. Never found him. In fact, let's see what this has to say here. I haven't heard this
now
update.
Sits at the site of what in 2008 was Lane Bryant in Tinley Park. It was 14 years ago today, on February the 2nd, that a man posing as a delivery worker killed 5 women here, leaving a 6th for dead.
I can't believe it's been 14 years. It did somewhat zoom by, but the experience is still there.
Maurice Hamilton is Rhoda McFarland's brother, the store manager at Lane Bryant. It was she who opened the store just minutes before the shooter walked in, herded the 6 women to a back room, tied them up, and shot them execution style. McFarland made the 911 call that alerted police to what was going on. The first officer arrived within 2 minutes.
We still get 1 or 2 tips a month, sometimes more. Again, it all depends. That's why we've never put it down.
7,500 leads have come in over the years. Working with the sole survivor, police were able to develop a composite of what they think the shooter looks like.
Yeah, that's all we ever
2
had.
new detectives were recently assigned
Nobody knew
to
him.
take a fresh look at the case.
We're hoping to develop something. We're hoping that something was missed, and if not, maybe today we'll get a tip that'll help us out and get us going.
I have faith on somebody doing the right thing one day. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow.
Investigators do believe someone is out there who knows something, maybe someone who did not feel comfortable coming forward back then, but who...
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're counting on at that point when it's been such a cold case for so long, is that maybe someone will come forward.
That's the only thing that's going to happen is somebody has to know who did it, has to know him, and and bring you the information. Because other than that, everything else is cold. There's no way you're going to do anything with that.
Yeah, it's a terrible case. And it for some reason, this case is reminding me of this because I just remember having that same feeling of how on earth do you walk into a store with cameras everywhere, shoot 5 people, and no one has even a picture of your face?
Well, they've got a good drawing of him. The thing is, with the knife murder, the chances of finding the knife are nil. I mean,
Really?
with the bullets, at least if you ever find the gun, you can match it. How the
Yeah.
hell you match the knife? You could say it's similar. You can say it's similar by the size of the wounds and all that, but you can't say that's the knife. It's
Isn't that something? Yeah, so
yeah. I mean, everything seems so easy when you look at it until you start sitting there trying to put it all together. You have to make a case that holds up in court that makes a jury believe what you're saying. And there's so many things on camera today that if you don't have a video of the murder, they're thinking, well, Jesus, this really happened.
yeah.
T-Rub
says
how do we know that really happened?
a murderer getting away with murder in Chicago? I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know. I said Chicago would have a much higher murder rate if they could shoot straighter.
Well, I gotta tell you though, in Chicago, in the suburbs, it's a lot less violent, and it's certainly very unusual for something to happen like that in a wealthy suburb and it not be discovered. It's like the Brown's chicken murders that happened outside of Chicago as well. Although I think they caught the guy that did that. I was looking up LA serial killers since that's where you come from and that's where you did your work on the LA Sheriff's Department. And I found a guy I had never heard of, or 2 guys I'd never heard of before. And man, I cannot believe this. So tell me, what do you know about the toolbox killers?
I never heard that one.
You weren't doing that? Okay, so that's interesting. You didn't hear
When
the
was
toolbox
it?
killers. 1979, I want to say 1979, the toolbox killers. There is here, I'll pull it up so you can see. These 2 were super weird. Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris.
Oh, Bart Whitaker Norris. They're the trash bag murders.
What do they call them? The what?
The trash bag murders, I think. That was where they put them in green bags when they cut them up.
I don't know.
Is that Bittaker Norris? I think that was Bittaker. A guy I worked with at Norwalk was working homicide, and that was his case. Both of those are deceased now, both of those guys. Denny Curran and the other name was just right out of my head.
Well, they're calling them
Jerry Jansen.
The toolbox killers now because they would kidnap women in their murder van and torture them with the tools that were in the box that they kept in the van.
Let me tell you this. This is going to be very interesting. When we were doing Bonham, we were in an office upstairs above the homicide bureau. It was our task force. And you were talking about listening to tapes. Well, this one guy had a stack of tapes that they took out of their van after they caught him.
Yeah.
And so he had to sit and listen to them.
Oh.
And most of them were music tapes. So he sat, and I don't know how many tapes he went through, but there were hundreds of tapes. And he got to one, and he listened to them from beginning to end. Didn't skip on anything. Halfway through one of the tapes, they had these guys have a young girl they picked up down in the beach areas along the coast in LA, had her in the van, and they were using vice grips on her.
Oh.
And they tortured her with the vice grips. They twisted her nipples. I mean, it was pretty disgusting. And when you heard it, and I'll tell you something, things do not bother me. It made your skin crawl when you heard her scream on those tapes. And had he not had the dedication to go from beginning to end on those tapes and listen to all the garbage he had to listen to for hours, days sometimes, before he got to that. But that burned him, that buried him. With that information coming out of that van and her, people saw her get in the van, apparently. That buried them.
Apparently they played those tapes for the jury. And people were throwing up and running.
I'm telling you, it made my
running out
skin
of the
crawl.
courtroom. Yeah,
It was really horrible.
Right now, there's a Peacock documentary about this. It's about an hour and a half long. I started watching it this morning, just kind of trying to get an idea of this case. And there's a psychologist that records phone conversations with one of the killers for hours and hours of him telling her all of these women that he killed. And in the middle of this, as I'm watching this, now he starts to say, well, I'm not a sociopath anymore, though. My psychologist says I'm not a sociopath anymore. It's like, sir,
psychologists
sell crazy someplace else, okay? Because no, I don't care if your psychologist says you're better. Stay in prison forever.
I mean, that was another one, I guess. But Bitter and Norris, I remember that's what made me hone in on that. And I was going to tell you about that when you were talking about the tapes before. I was going to tell you about the tape that guy heard, and then we listened to it. And I'll tell you, I mean, you see a lot of things in a homicide, but it was horrible. That poor girl, what she went through, and fortunately they killed her. I mean, if they hadn't killed her, can you imagine?
One girl, he stuck an ice pick in her ear and tried to puncture her eardrum because apparently that's a really painful way to go, one of the most painful ways to go. And he tried to tell the interviewer that he really thought it would make her die quickly. He wasn't trying to torture her. And when it didn't work, well, then he just strangled her to death because, he didn't want her to suffer. What do these people think? They think we're stupid? This man is clearly a sadomasochist, a deranged lunatic, and he's all telling the interviewer, I was never sadistic. No, I don't have any sadistic tendencies. Like, what are you freaking kidding me?
Well, I interviewed a couple pedophiles when I was working at Vice. We did some pedophiles, and I talked to them, and they all said the same thing. We never change. We're what we are, and that's the way we're going to be the day we die. They're not happy with it, maybe, but they know who they are, and they don't make any bones about it. So. But Bonin did that to one of his victims, the one in Downey I told you about. Put an ice pick in his ear.
Oh, God! And apparently, they learned this from the movies.
They were all at San Luis Obispo men's colony. Whitaker Norris, Rodney Alcala. Remember Rodney Alcala?
Yes. Wait, why?
The guy from the dating game. The guy from the dating game, Rodney Alcala.
God, LA was so full of freaks.
Well, he was there with Bonin and Whitaker and Norris, and I told you they all made the pact that when they got out and started doing it again, that nobody would live.
Yeah, they were telling they were writing, one of them was writing these fantasy stories out and sharing them with other inmates about what they were going to do when they got out. Yeah. And these two, the toolbox weirdos, said that they were going to kill a girl for each year of the teen years. So first a 13-year-old, then a 14-year-old, then a 15-year-old, then a 16-year-old. My question is, where the hell are the guards during this, where they're sharing this disgusting plans to kill women and no one notices that they're like sharing murder porn, basically?
I don't think they pay that much attention to what they're talking about. What I mean?
I guess.
But,
hey, Raceland, thanks for the Rumble rant. I appreciate that. Yeah, remember to hit that plusy, you guys. Make sure if you're on Rumble to hit that little plus button and share the stream. I can't see. I'm down to one screen, unfortunately. My one, okay, well, my second one is working sort of, so I can sort of see you on Rumble. But it's good to see you all here. But make sure that you hit that plus. But yeah, so one of the chatters has sent me, thank you very much, by the way, the video that I was trying desperately with the headlights. So what we are
this is the house here.
I don't know.
Where the orange lights are?
I'm not sure. Let's see. Footage captured taillights in what appears to be a light-colored car. No, these are taillights, not the headlights, but this is a different one. In the vicinity of the Moscow homicide, 255 or 155 into the video. So let's see what this one is about.
Appreciate it. But it's just enough for me to stop, check, make sure you're 21, walking around here in public. Moscow 76.
There. tail lights there moving away.
Devin, check one. What's that?
Am I gonna take off? Or?
No, let me run this through dispatch. Make sure you're actually 21 and give me a fake birthday.
Oh yeah.
Or moving toward the house, because isn't
Well,
that
they
house?
look like they were going this way. But...
And I think that might have been on the way
But it's just enough
toward
for me
the
to stop,
house. I'm not
check,
sure.
make sure.
I don't know if that was going away or toward the house. Let's see the next one, because there's another one. So there's this is the one I was trying to show you. Okay. All right. Oh, good. So now we can see the difference between what we were looking at in the video, the daytime and the nighttime. So right next to this building is where this is the house right here, the blue house.
Okay.
And
this is the apartment building here. Okay.
And this is the apartment building here. And this is where there were headlights or something that appeared on that video, like right there for a couple seconds. There were some headlights there. So let's see. Is there a video there too? Let's see. No, it doesn't look like the video's there, but that's the spot. So maybe we can go back to that video and find it. Where did it go? Here it is. All right, let me share this. Now that we know it's right next to the apartment building, I was looking too far over, I think. So 87 Sparky, thanks for the super chat. Yes, we did reach the goal for the fundraising. We're actually going to talk about that. Joe has some thoughts about the board and what they did. That school board, Joe.
That was funny. Yeah.
That shut me up. Wasn't that funny?
The cornhole.
Yeah. The school board that shut me up, and we've reached our fundraising goal to sue them. And so that's a lot of fun because that's happening, and we're going to be doing that. Robert Barnes is excited about that. I sent him the. All right, let's see if I can make this even bigger. I'll take us out of the screen, and we'll just do full screen on this. So I'm going to say that let's play it at full speed and see if we see any. I think it would be right here.
This is the house here, right there.
Right here, right?
Right. Well, I'm looking at the white car by the apartments.
Yeah, white
car.
The
house has to be right next to that, right there.
To the right with the light.
Well, if you look at what you showed me before,
you think it's right here.
That's where I think it is there too, because there's the two lights that we kept. Oh no, here they are over here. So this is separate. Remember the two lights where the one on our left was brighter.
Yes.
That's over here.
Yeah, where?
And that's where the lights in the front were.
But here,
so this has to be the house about an inch to the right of that white car.
An inch to the right. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna play it at full speed, and we'll just watch the whole thing. Let's play it at normal speed. We'll start from the beginning and see what we see. Oh my God, that sounds terrible.
He's running again.
Running again.
Yeah. We saw him talking to him, so we didn't know.
So he yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on him. I yelled at you guys. You didn't stop.
No, I did not hear you.
Right, well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure.
Oh, there's the apartments.
And then right next to it, right in between.
Yeah, see where that bright light is?
It's to the left of the bright light, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I think so.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Right there.
Did you see it?
Now there's the headlights. And I'll bet you with that picture, they can match which cars, would have that exact same configuration. Problem is headlights without a side view or something else are going to be difficult to, might get a bunch of different cars, you know what I mean? But they could do that. They could take that picture, determine the distance from where the cop was standing, and actually
slow that down. I'm going to slow that down now.
But you know what? The other picture you showed of the house, there was a pole, and I don't know if that pole would preclude somebody from going through there with a car.
There was,
you know what I'm saying? It was a tall.
But there's also like a lot behind. Like they drove through, and there's a way to like.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot.
But I don't see that pole in this picture because it's dark.
Yeah, it's dark, but you do see lights, and it could possibly be behind the house. Like there was a parking lot back there.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the parking lot for the apartment building is
Yeah,
kind
that other picture didn't show you the back of the house.
elevated. It's and the apartments back up to the house almost.
Yeah, but there they are. They're coming straight forward.
Yeah, let's move back again.
You can see them come in. There they are there.
There they are.
Yeah, so that's a car back there.
Uh-huh.
Of course, as Ralph said, it's not a lot to go with.
No, it's not a lot to go on. No, it certainly is not a lot to go on. But interesting, though. It's interesting how these people...
Well, they and you're showing the level of intensity of these investigations. The people are looking at all that stuff. They went to the cameras, the video, what do you call it? The body cams,
Yeah.
Guys, when I was working, we didn't have DNA. All we had was fingerprints, basically, and blood types, and just the ABO, as they call it, the 3 blood type, and that was it. And so you could match secretors and non-secretors. If a person was a secretor and had the same blood type, then you had a good chance to match it. If they weren't, it knocked them out of there. So
All right. Well, we've been doing this for an hour, and right now I've got. I promised my chat that I make them do squats at least every half hour to an hour, and we're past it. So we've got 1 minute and 22 seconds here. Joe, if you want to stick around to come back after this, we're going to talk about the school board that I'm suing and what they did. If you don't,
I gotta be somewhere. I don't know how long you're going to be.
1 minute and 22 seconds. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Then I've got another 20 minutes or so.
All right, cool. All right, hang out. You don't
the school board meeting was fun.
You don't have to do squats with us, but
thank you.
The chat, you do. You are required. So let's get to it, shall we?
You impose fatness on you. You did it by going, oh, I want the butter on the popcorn. Oh, I want the butter on the ice cream. Oh, I want the butter on the sandwich. Oh, I want the butter on the salad. Stop eating butter. Can you just get up, walk 1 mile? Do squat! Walk farther. And if you can't walk, crawl, roll, get dragged by a goddamn forklift. Whatever is wrong with you, just move. Ever. Get off the chair, get off the couch. No one is coming to service you while you sink into that furniture, while you become one with the pleather your poor ass got on that Walmart couch. Can you try not floating into sadness? Stop eating, stop drinking, start walking, start doing anything that you haven't been doing, you fat piece of shit.
You can't talk to me like that.
We find it incredibly helpful.
I read the other day at our age, talking about me, when you drop something on the floor and bend over to pick it up, that's 1 squat.
We find the fat shaming very motivating.
Well, listen, it's healthy.
Wicked Psyched on Rumble. Where did you see the response to the lawsuit against the school board? I want to see that. Somebody get me a link. Send it to the Twitter DMs. I need to see it. So it turns out, Joe, that this school board, I'm still out of breath from the squats. This turns out that this school board has been sued already. So I'm about to sue them for what they did to me. And
you get your 3 minutes.
I did not get my 3 minutes, and damn it, I want my 3 minutes. It's like that shit movie.
What a whiner.
What a whiner.
I'm sure you upset them with that.
Oh God, yes, I clearly upset them, and it's really funny because when you talk, I did it purposefully. Obviously, I mean, I use their names on purpose because they hate that so much, and they think they can tell people that you're not allowed to use the names of elected school board officials when you go to talk to them. Can you believe this? Have you ever heard anything about like this ever?
I know. Yeah.
You're not allowed to use.
You're going to expose them for who they are.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to use your name. Like, yes, I can. Don't tell me what to do. That's as soon as someone does that to me, I'm like, no, don't tell me what to do. Absolutely not. So,
well, you made yourself a terrorist.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you go after a school board, you're a terrorist now, right? Yeah, domestic, at least.
A domestic terrorist, which is why we're doing what we're doing here. But I'll play, in case you are new to the stream, this is what this lawsuit is about. This board violated the constitutional right to speak, because once they open the floor to you, you have 3 minutes. So unless I were to do something really awful, like, I don't know, they're not even supposed to stop you if you swear, and I didn't even do that. But let's listen.
Please state your name and address.
All right. Hello, my name is Megan Fox, and I'll tell you why I'm not going to give you my address. For one, I just read your Wisconsin Rules of Open Meetings Act. It's a law. And the law in Wisconsin is that the public has a right to participate in your meetings, and nowhere in it does it say that anyone has to dox themselves online in order to participate in a public meeting. I want you to know that school boards like yourselves have been sued successfully before in the past for doing this. It's considered an intimidation technique. Now, you can sigh and put your face in your hands, but you need to listen to me when I tell you that you can be sued for what you're doing. You are violating people's rights. And and what you did today by cutting off public comment in the beginning of the meeting when you had a full house of people who wanted to speak to you, and you made them wait 2 hours, and most of them had to go home because they had to work jobs tomorrow, or because they had to get kids somewhere, or because they had to go home and get dinner. What you did is violating the public's First Amendment rights to address their public bodies for grievances. It is a violation of the Constitution, and you should each be ashamed. Sharon, you should be ashamed of yourself. Leanne, you should be ashamed of yourself. Michael, you should be ashamed of yourself. And you too, Jenny, and you too, Jessica. And let me tell you something else. When people use names in front of your school board and they come in and they say, I want to talk to you about a specific person on the board, you are not allowed to tell them that their First Amendment right to speak is curtailed in some way because they want to use a name. That is illegal. What you are doing is against the Wisconsin Open Meetings Act. Now,
Yeah, the gun
I have
would
3
be
minutes,
history.
and I know that my time is not up. You are not to interrupt me while I am speaking. This is public comment time, and I'm a member of the public. You can sit there and be as uncomfortable as you want, but I have this 3 minutes. So listen to me, Michael. When you are talking to people, when they come here to see you, you are put into this position, by the way, by the people of this town. They are your first priority.
Surprise. Where are you?
They are your first priority. They are the people you're responsible
Do you need me to mute this?
Why would you mute this? Why would you mute me?
Okay. Sorry,
my
I couldn't
3
hear
minutes
you,
are not
Vodovoz.
up. All right,
Okay.
they muted me, and then the idiot comes on and says, well, I can do that because her comments did not align with the dignity of the board. No,
you weren't in the gutter, right?
I wasn't dignified enough for these people. It's truly stupid. So, Wicked, you need to tell me, did they read the lawsuit response during the video? Because I don't want to scan through a 2-hour video or an hour-long video. Did they read it out loud? I got to see if I can get it. All right. So what I was going to tell you was, so we raised $10,000. Actually, we raised $11,000 over 7 days to pay Robert Barnes to sue these people, and he's taken the case. We're fully funded now. Thank you very much. Anything that goes extra in the case is just going to go to Robert because he's just doing it for expenses. So whatever comes in after that, we're doing it. This is my fuck around and find out chart. This is how much the board has fucked around, and now they are at Barnes level find out, and that's terrific because we're going to make that happen. They have broken more laws, Joe. They've broken all kinds of laws. There's a lawsuit against them by a former, I think he might be I don't know if he's former or still a current board member, but his name is Michael Meyer. And he's suing them too. He filed in November He filed in November about alleging they held a secret meeting to discuss things that weren't on the agenda, and he was present for it, and he told the media about it, and then they retaliated against him for telling the media that these people are conspiring behind closed doors. There's just I uncovered a rat's nest, apparently, of corruption in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
Well, Wisconsin is becoming like that. But that's, that there's certain things that they can't meet by themselves. They have to be in public.
Exactly.
The school boards. There are things that are delineated that they have to.
Yeah,
follow.
they're allowed to do like closed meetings when it comes to litigation and stuff like that, but they have to put it on the agenda, and they have to only stick to those topics. And apparently they didn't stick to the topics, and then they retaliated against the board member who told on them. They also uncovered, this is unbelievable, he uncovered a scam where one of the board members was getting a contract with the school whose husband was being paid by the contractor. So, and they caught her, and the press wrote about it, and then they paid her $500,000 to walk away, or some nonsense like, oh, well, we have to get rid of this problem. So they paid her off with $500,000.
Wow.
I know. It's just the crime.
Where'd the money come from? Taxpayers must have been excited about that.
The taxpayers. These taxpayers in Wauwatosa, though, there's something wrong with them. Oh, he also alleges in his lawsuit that the TOSA board fabricated what do you call those things? When you send around for opinions, and the fabricated
polls.
A poll. Thank you. Apparently they polled the people of Wauwatosa about this extremely graphic sexual sex education program that they were going to put into the school. And I guess, according to this board member, the community hated it, and they fabricated the results of the poll to say that they didn't hate it and they wanted it. And then they pushed it through.
I find that hard to believe.
Oh, gosh.
If that lady got their attention, the one that was on that talked to them.
I should play that for people, because this is funny. So Joe sent me this video after we were chatting about the boards and their weird behavior, and he found this video of a couple years ago of a woman in front of a school board. I'm not sure where it was, but it's hilarious, of her confronting them about the gross things in the book. And again, I warn you, if you have kids in the room, please take them out of the room, please.
Or they can go to school and hear it.
Send them to school where they will for sure hear it. Oh my Lord, this is so bad. All right, here we go. Let's share this.
Recently being charged with assaulting a department store employee over COVID-19 regulation content that she'd found in a school library book.
But I was sidetracked by, for the boys, pussy, or the idea of pussy, or the idea of pussy. A Mexican is a Mexican is a Mexican. Take her out back, we boys figured, then hand on the titties. Put it in her coin box, put it in her cornhole, grab a hold of that braid, rub that calico. You can find that on page 39 of Out of Darkness.
She's
you can find at Hudson Bend Middle School and Bee Cave Middle School. All right.
Middle school, right?
Cornhole,
Middle
because
school.
I have the game in the back of my yard. But according to Wikipedia, cornhole is a sexualist slang vulgarism for anus. The term came into the use in the 1910s in the United States as verb.
That's the only thing I ever knew it was.
Which came into usage in the 1930s, means to have anal sex. I do not want my children to learn about anal sex in middle school. I have never had anal sex. I don't want to have anal sex. I don't want my kids having anal sex. I want you to start focusing on education and not public health.
I might call that closed-minded.
I love her. Snow Queen says you should look into the Thompson School District in Loveland, Colorado. There's been a lot of documented shady shit that's been going on there. I can guarantee you that there is shady shit going on at almost every school board in America. I guarantee it. Like it's ridiculous. But Joe, thanks so much for being here again today. I appreciate it. Watch that documentary on Hulu about serial killers in LA. And I want to talk to you about that later. See if you know how many people you know and what you know about all that stuff. Because I bet you're going to love that. That one's called City of Angels, City of Death.
City of Death. Yeah. Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's nice being here. Thank you very much.
You take
I appreciate
care.
it.
It's nice.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. We are going to take a short break where you're going to have fun listening to me talk about my hair with my dad while I take a quick bathroom break, and then I will be back, and we're going to read through that lawsuit against the Wauwatosa School District, and wait till you hear what Michael Meyer is alleging. It's going to be pretty fun. And so hang on a second. I got to find the right video. By the way, while I'm finding this, if you are not on my Locals channel, we are doing true crime movie night tonight. Movie night tonight, you guys. And it's going to be so fun. Casey Anthony, episode 3. And we have been having so much fun. Bring your cocktails, bring your popcorn, and we tell jokes, and we laugh, and we make fun of this woman. It's going to be great. And I think, is episode 3 the last one? So then we need to decide what we're going to watch next. And we do need to catch up on Harry and Meghan. So yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. You enjoy me and my dad. Tell me all about what I'm doing wrong.
You can't be talking about your hair.
Mischievous. I miss your curly hair. So of course, for the rest of the day, it's just going to be people fighting between the straight hair and the curly hair. I can feel it.
You can't be talking about your hair.
Glenn says I need smaller glasses with my hair straight. Okay, look.
Well, you gotta get controversial.
With me today is the lovely and wonderful Megan Fox. Not that one.
Not that one.
No. Was he queer or what?
Well, I'm medium good looking, you know.
You're medium attractive.
I can live with that.
You can't be talking about your hair.
And I really like your hair like this. I really do. It's fantastic.
Is he queer?
That's pretty blonde.
It's pretty blonde.
It's very blonde. It's a different style. I mean, I kind of noticed the color, but it's mostly just the styling that,
just
that I noticed.
straight.
Is he queer?
What?
You can't be talking about your hair.
Yeah.
I have wavy hair naturally, so I don't straighten it very often, but it's a whole thing.
You can't be talking about your hair.
That's okay. I just don't even have hair back there.
You can't be talking about your hair.
It's all just a front.
Is he queer?
What? It's the weirdest bald spot ever.
You can't be talking about your hair.
Tim has a full head of hair under that beanie, Megan.
Is he queer?
No! This is terrible.
Is he queer?
Okay, that's enough of that.
Is he queer?
Nick's gay lover says, rate Nick's female guests. Okay, that's enough of that.
That ain't get it.
And this is the base color that covers up the grays. And then I get my highlights put in after that.
You can't be talking about your hair.
Okay, Tech News says you should go blonde.
What?
I had to get my grays covered up. I don't like my hair dark like this.
This is terrible.
That ain't get it.
I identify as a blonde. I was born as a blonde. I will probably never be this blonde again, though.
That's pretty blonde.
It's pretty blonde.
It's very blonde.
This color is so much maintenance. See, probably a little lighter than this naturally.
You have no chance.
But it's hard to get the right color. When I go all gray, I will totally be able to go back to that color.
You have to get to your subject a little sooner.
Yeah, a little sooner. I lasted for 10 minutes. I had to get up and pee. I couldn't even wait for the rest of it.
Right now, I just have gray around the edges. Like, there's not a whole lot of it anywhere else. So I would still have to use bleach, which is so damaging. I make these weird faces like I'm in pain when I squish my hair, and I don't know why I do that.
You have no chance.
But I try. All right, I'm back. How are you guys doing? Are you back? So I have had a new conversation with my dad, which is hilarious. So funny. And hold on a second. Let me check the... Thanks, Kenzie. Kenzie says she likes my curls today. You know, as long as we're talking about my hair. As long as we're talking about my hair. I had a difficult time with my hair over the last couple of days. I think I didn't put the right products in, and it's kind of, I don't know. It's all right. It's all right. But, you know, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You just never know. All right. So let's get over Daisy Nimbus Union Break. That's right. Well, I didn't have to play the whole thing, at least, because although the whole thing is pretty funny, but I didn't have to play the whole thing. I didn't need that much time. All right. Let's get over to the lawsuit. So a guy named Michael Meyer, I downloaded it. Where is it? Let me see. Of course, if I don't open it in my email, then I can't share it with you, and I want to do that. Raceland, thanks for the Rumble rant, says, I'll look away because Carrie Lake's election lawsuit is going to trial. Oh, it is? I thought I heard something about a dismissal yesterday. So I'm glad to hear that that's not true. That would be terrible. By the way, there's a couple of morons on Twitter who call themselves lawyers who keep saying that Amber Heard's settlement is somehow a win for her and that it invalidates the jury decision. That is false. Anyone telling me that is just a total moron. Sorry, but that makes no sense whatsoever. It does not invalidate a jury decision. The jury decision stands. It just means they negotiated a different amount of money so that she doesn't have to pay the $10.5 million or whatever it was. All right, here it is. Here's the lawsuit. I'm going to bring it up. But there is no way that she has won anything. And they're just trying to spin it. All right, here we go. I haven't checked the locals chat in a while. Let me get over there. Is anybody in the locals chat? Yes, you are. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, interesting. Interesting, Zoe. Zoe says, I think you brought... Oops, I just unplugged myself. I can't hear. There we go. Zoe says, I think he brought a change of clothes and shoes, and that's why no footprints. That's so weird. That's so... You're talking about Idaho. That's so scary. Like, the idea that this kind of guy, or person does this is just... and gets away with it, I just cannot stand. All right, I'm bringing up the complaint. Here we go. Let's read through it, shall we? It's only 12 pages, and it's actually pretty hilarious. This is one of the better ones that I've read in a while. You're going to like this. This is against the Wauwatosa School Board, state of Wisconsin. Michael Meyer, who is Wauwatosa School Board member seat number 2. So he's actually on the school board, or at least he was at the time of this filing. I wonder if he's the one that I was yelling at, calling, you too, Michael. Was that him? I don't know. He didn't reach out to me or anything, but he seems like a pretty cool dude based on this complaint. Let me go down here. All right, that makes it bigger for you guys to see it. Oh, NYR Marine, stop it. It's Dexter-like preparation. I bet he had cut-resistant gloves and potentially coveralls. That is disgusting. That is so terrifying. Good Lord. I hate the idea of that. All right, getting to it. Let me shut down some of these windows. I'm going to have a computer meltdown if I leave these windows up the way they are. All right. Plaintiff versus Wauwatosa School Board of Education and Steve Doman are the defendants. This is just your boring average. Within 45 days, here's what you have to do. If you don't provide an answer, blah, blah, blah. We can skip past that. We're going to get to the complaint. Now comes the plaintiff, Michael Meyer, Wauwatosa School Board member, seat number 2, by and through his attorney's Cross Law Firm, LLC. As for a complaint against the defendants, plead as follows. Parties. Plaintiff Michael Meyer is a citizen of the state of Wisconsin, and we don't need to talk about his address, was at all times the elected holder of Wauwatosa School Board Seat 2. Defendant Wauwatosa School Board of Education is an elected body of 7 members holding numbered seats, each seat elected citywide, a governmental body within the meaning of Wisconsin Statute 19.82(1), whose principal offices are at that address. Defendant Steve Doman is a citizen of the state of Wisconsin, and his address is there, was all at times material president, and he was the president of the board of Wauwatosa School Board until his resignation on May 11th of 2022. Jurisdiction of this court is proper pursuant to blah, blah, blah. The plaintiff filed an open meetings complaint with the relevant authority on September 27th, 2022. So this just happened in September. Raceland, thanks for the Rumble rant. Raceland says, I actually have a change of clothes and shoes in my car. Well, obviously, you're a psycho. Has anyone looked into Raceland 9000 for this murder? Maybe someone should. Just saying. Just kidding. Where was I? The plaintiff filed an open meetings complaint in September. On October 17th, 2022, Milwaukee County acknowledged that the deadline for action had passed. Jurisdiction of this court is proper pursuant to Wisconsin statute because Milwaukee County did not act to enforce the plaintiff's public meetings complaint. Oh, that's interesting. So he files a complaint. They don't act until October when it's too late. That makes sense. That tracks. Introductory statement. This case is about the Wauwatosa School Board of Education disenfranchising an entire voting district by denial of the rights of their elected representative and obstruction of compliance with Wisconsin laws. Sounds terrible. Sounds like this board is full of criminals. Sounds like someone should hold them accountable. The Wauwatosa School District is controlled by a faction of the board. This faction makes political decisions in secret and retaliates against anyone who challenges them by silencing the public and their elected representatives. Where have we heard that before? Have we perhaps witnessed this silencing of the public by this faction of the board? Unbelievable. I mean, I didn't even know this was out there, you guys. Like, I literally decided I wanted to sue these people before I even know that this is in existence. So that's pretty interesting, don't you think? The faction lost its first leader, Stephen Doman, after Doman stripped Michael Meyer of a committee assignment and appointed others in secret after Meyer alleged the board violated the public records law. The board told Meyer and the public it would comply with the law, but the pattern of retaliation continues. Every time the board disenfranchises Meyer's constituents. Most recently, the faction of the board made secret changes to the sexual education curriculum, human growth and development curriculum, development process, directing the district employees to scrub previously reported survey data. You guys, this is so important. This is news. This is news. I got to write this up. The result of the scrub altered the survey results in favor of the faction's political theories. A faction of the board directed the changes to decision data in secrecy in the week prior to a Monday, August 22nd, 22 vote. The faction of the board acted in secrecy as to who was involved in directing the data change and in secrecy as to the criteria for the data removal. This secret process excluded some members of the board and excluded the community. Enough is enough. It is time to hold this board accountable to the open meetings law and by extension to hold the board accountable to its own constituents. It is time to return democratic control over the Wauwatosa School Board of Education. Well, I agree with you, sir. Factual allegations. This is going to get spicy. On August 16th and 31 of 2021, reporter Amanda St. Hilaire of Fox 6 requested public records from members of the board held on members' personal devices, including voicemails from members of the public. Now, Amanda St. Hilaire sounds like a really good investigator. She sounds like a good journalist. She's looking into secret voicemails and documents. This is how it's done, by the way. This is how you do it. And I think that this is really, wait till you hear what these people are up to. You won't believe it. On December 9th, 2021, the defendant board held a closed meeting, exempting the meeting from the public pursuant to Wisconsin Open Meetings Law, Statute 19.85 1C and G, to confer with legal counsel regarding personnel matters. During the closed meeting of December 9th, 2021, members of the board began to discuss certain other activities. More specifically, the board discussed items not listed in the closed meeting notice, including the production of public records in response to the August 2021 public record requests directed at all defendant board members, including plaintiff Michael Meyer. The specific unnoticed content, you're not allowed to do that, by the way. You can't just, in one of these closed meetings, you can't go off the agenda that you gave out to the public saying, we were going to talk about A, B, and C, and then you also talk about D and E without telling anyone. You can't do that. It's illegal. Illegal. The specific unnoticed content included a discussion of a claim directed at plaintiff Michael Meyer of overcompliance in the production of public records in response to those requests. So basically, they pulled him aside and said, why did you comply so, you overcomplied? Why did you give her too many records, is basically what they're saying. It's just ridiculous because all records are public. And so, claiming that he overcomplied is dumb. You better overcomply. It's better than undercomplying, because if you undercomply, well, then you've broken the law. But if you overcomply, you haven't broken any law because all these records are public. What are they trying to hide? Defendant board attorney Alana Leffler of Buelo Vetter, I don't know how to say that, or Bulo Vetter, attended the closed session of December 9, 2021, and took no action to prevent or stop the discussion of the off-topic subject of public records during the closed meeting. Yeah, and that was her job, by the way. If you're an attorney and you represent a school board and they start talking about stuff that's not on the agenda in a closed door meeting, you're supposed to go, no, stop right there. We can't discuss that. That's illegal. That's her whole job. But she sat there and listened to it instead. Wow. We should find out who she is. What's her name? Alana Leffler. Let's find out who their school board attorney is. Maybe she's the one we're going to tangle with. Leffler or Leffner? Leffler of Buelo something. How do I spell that? Buelo. I don't know. All right, we'll just do Alana Leffner, Wisconsin attorney, because I can't spell that without looking at it and I can't see it. There she is. All right. This is Alana Leffler. Here she is. I wonder if she's the one we're going to get our response back from. What do we think, folks? What do you think? I think it's kind of interesting that her practice focuses on, look at this, primarily on advising public and private schools in the areas of general school law. But she doesn't know that you can't talk about topics that aren't on the agenda in a secret meeting. She doesn't know you can't do that. I don't know about that, Alana. You may have work to do on your, hey, Legal Vices. Hey, are you bored? You want to come in here and read this complaint with me? Because it's kind of fun. It's kind of ridiculous. I'll send you an invite just in case you do. Check your Twitter DMs. because this is the school board that we're suing, Jeff. And it turns out they've already been sued, and we're reading that complaint right now. And it's kind of hilarious. I'm sending you an invite. He says, where are you? There you are. All right. This is a hilarious and we've just found this attorney here. This is their attorney who apparently told them that it was okay to discuss things that were not on the agenda in a closed door off the secret meeting away from the public. That's just not how these things work, Alana. You should know this. You should know this. All right, going back to the lawsuit here. Defendant board attorney, she took no action to prevent or stop the discussion of the off-topic subject of public records during the closed meeting. On December 10th, 2021, plaintiff Michael Meyer called Ms. St. Hilaire for clarification of the public records request. On January 4th, 2022, defendant President Steve Doman called plaintiff Michael Meyer to discuss plaintiff's overcompliance. That makes me laugh every time I see it. There's no such thing as over-complying with a public records request, because anything you release is public anyway, in a public body. So if you made a mistake and you gave too many records, oh well, it's no big deal. It was public anyway. But if you under-comply, that's illegal. That's against the law. So over-complying is always a better choice. So defendant President Steve Doman called plaintiff Michael Meyer to discuss plaintiff's overcompliance, confirming that members discussed a non-noticed item topic in the December 9 closed meeting. Defendant President Doman incorrectly accused the plaintiff Michael Meyer of violating defendant Wauwatosa Board Bylaw 167.2, board confidentiality, for discussing Ms. St. Hilaire's original public records request with her. Plaintiff Michael Meyer responded that he had followed the law in the December 10, 2021 phone call with Ms. St. Hilaire. Yeah, there's no law that says a board member can't speak with a member of the press either. He literally can about whatever he wants. During the phone call of January 4th, defendant President Doman asked the plaintiff Michael Meyer to commit to maintaining confidentiality. Plaintiff Michael Meyer responded that he would commit to following the law. Hold on, Gadfly's asking me for something. I gotta send him something. Hold on. Wasn't it fun to see Gadfly yesterday? Ugh, love him. Absolutely love him. I've missed him so much. He's just been so busy working, which, I guess, if you must. I'm trying to find it. There it is. Is Jeff here? I heard somebody pop in. Hey!
Howdy.
Nice Santa hat. How you doing?
Yeah, festive. My usual festive self.
It's Christmas time. I'm wearing my red sweater. It's sort of Christmassy. I do have a Christmas sweater all picked out for a Christmas stream. I just haven't decided when I'm going to do it. But
Christmas is a good time.
I know.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Just saying. So you know all about this board that I'm suing with Robert Barnes, right? They cut me off. They wouldn't let me speak. So we're suing them.
Yeah. And well, good for you, damn it.
Well, it turns out they're already being sued.
It seems that way.
They're already being sued.
By the guy from Halloween.
Yeah, by Michael Meyer. Yes. Yes.
Or the Canadian comedian guy, one of the two. I like the Halloween murder. Yeah.
But so far through this complaint, we've found out that they not only had a secret meeting that they weren't supposed to have, but they discussed things that weren't on the agenda. And one of those things was discussing Meyer talking to a reporter and over complying with a public records request. Because he ended up giving the reporter over complying. You've ever heard that term before? Is that illegal to over comply with the public?
Well, it's your lucky day, Megan Fox, because I've been on the board of the International School of Busan here in Busan for about 20 years, and I've served as the chairman for 5 of those years. So you've got a school board expert here as well.
Excellent. So can you over comply with a public records request? I've never heard of such a thing.
Well, you either comply or you don't, really.
Right. Like if you give too many records, no one's really coming to file a complaint. But if you don't give enough of them and you withhold records, you could go to jail. Well, probably not jail, but they would fine you if you got caught. I wish they went to jail. That would be better.
Over complying. I think that means you gave them what they asked for. Shame on you. You know? How dare you comply with an order?
Wait till you hear what they gave him. What he gave them. He gave the reporter something that got somebody in big trouble. And that's why he gave it to the reporter.
I remember that from my clients. Why are you over complying?
Funny.
Over complying isn't helping you. Stop over complying.
Oh man. So Meyer tells him, I'm committed to following the law. They call him up. They say, we want you to maintain confidentiality. And Meyer responds, I'm going to follow the law. On January 27th of 2022, defendant President Doman sent an email to plaintiff Michael Meyer regarding unsubstantiated claims that the plaintiff, Michael Meyer, violated their bylaws and rescinding an appointment of Mr. Meyer to the policy committee. Oh, they're taking away his committee assignments now.
Which ironically is making policy, including such things as compliance with orders.
Right. Right. But better remove the one guy who actually follows the policy and
who was it exactly that issued this order?
To get him off the policy committee?
To get the documents that he over complied with.
Oh, who issued? Well, a reporter asked for the documents and he gave them to her.
Okay.
Now, it's also possible that he called her first and told her what to ask for. But that's also not a crime. It's not a crime. I've had people do that to me. They call me and they say, ask for this document on this date. Yeah, okay.
That's been known to happen with the clients. It's like, your case sucks, but if we just had a document that said this and was dated around this date, it might be a different story.
Uh-huh. That happens all the time. Yeah. And those people are covered under whistleblower laws anyway. So if the board was doing something corrupt and a board member was like, hey, you need to check the file on this date because there's some shit going down, that's not illegal for him to do that.
But what is illegal is to do what one of my clients didn't really suggest, hinted at about 25 years ago as a Russian fishing boat case. It's like, we want to sue these people. Sorry, the documents just aren't here. What do you need the documents to say?
Yeah, that's not right. Yeah,
no,
you can't do that.
You can tell them what you have, but you can't say, what would you like me to make?
What would you like on it? No, that's going too far. But if you have the thing and you know that's what they need, you can say what you're looking for is probably between September and October of 2022, and it might be entitled this. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, so it's just funny to watch this kind of strong arming they're doing to him. So it says on April 26th, defendant President Doman emailed other members of the defendant board with an update regarding the status of the policy committee. The email revealed the defendant President Doman had been working in secrecy, appointing board members Michael Phillips and Leanne Fraley. Leanne's the gray-haired one that was making all the faces. She was the one that was putting her head in her hand, and she was going like this all the time. So he appoints Michael Phillips and Leanne Fraley to the policy committee in February, and stating that they have begun their work. More specifically, the defendant had made the appointment with the policy committee due to unusual surrounding circumstances in this instance. On May 8th, 2022, Fox 6 News published, Wauwatosa School Board discussed public records in secret. The article reported on allegations by the plaintiff that the defendant board president, Steve Doman, and others violated open meetings and public records laws. Tisk, 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 don't do that. On May 11th, Steve Doman, I keep unplugging myself today. Steve Doman resigned from the Wauwatosa school board. Oh, wow. So on the 8th, Fox publishes that, and by the 11th, he's out. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a problem. On information and belief, as of April 26, 2022, the policy committee had not met in public. As of May 12, 2022, the policy committee had not noticed any meeting and had not published any minutes. On May 12th, during a phone call between defendant Demond Means, board vice president Sharon Muehlfeld, and plaintiff Michael Meyer, defendant Demond Means, and by the way, he was the superintendent at the time, stated there had been one policy committee meeting that he knew of, but with no minutes, Jeff. Yeah. No minutes. No public hearing. On July 20,
caught us on that one. I'm sure there were other meetings that if the people find out, he would have known of those too, but there's also no minutes.
Oh, there's got to be a lot of them. These people think they can do anything. It's very clear that they think they can do whatever they want. And they are doing whatever they want. You missed the part in the beginning where they, Jeff, this is so bad. He is accusing them of changing survey results to align with their political beliefs about the sex ed program. So basically, he is saying that the community in Wauwatosa was polled. They didn't want the sex ed program, and the board fabricated different results. My jaw, on the floor. I could not believe someone sent me this, and I'm like, I don't even believe this is happening. This was just filed in November. So this is filed in November. Barnes is going to file hopefully in, probably January, because Christmas is coming. So let's hope for January. But these people are going to get hit on all sides, man. All sides. And they deserve it. They freaking deserve it. Let's just say. On July 21st, Wauwatosa School Superintendent Demond Means, what a name, emailed board members internet links for open meetings law resources. On August 1, 2022, the board met for governance training presented by staff from the Wisconsin Association of School Boards. Well, they need that training, but clearly it wasn't good enough, including open meetings law educational materials in the May 2019 Wisconsin Open Meetings Law Compliance Guide. WASB staff attorneys presented the board with preparation materials and gave the board members extensive information regarding the requirements of the open meetings law. So this right here is evidence that they were trained, and they have no possible way, Jeff, of saying they didn't know, right?
Not really.
I mean, it's pretty extensive. During the August 1, 2022 meeting, a staff attorney from WASB presented open meetings law scenarios for discussion. Included in that discussion was the prohibition against walking quorums and one-on-one policy meetings. What's a walking quorum? Do you know what that is?
No, and I have no idea what a one-on-one policy meeting is either.
Yeah, one-on-one. Yeah, what would a well, that means a board member and a board member together discussing policy when they should be discussing it in a public meeting with everyone, with the entire board. So you can't have a policy discussion with another board member.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a board meeting.
And then, now the walking quorum makes sense.
If
you need a quorum of 5 people, say if you need 5 people to make a quorum, but you don't have 5 people there, 2 people meet together, and then 3 people meet together. So therefore, you've all sort of had smaller groups that equal a quorum.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Those aren't good. Yeah, no, that's not right. No, that's why we don't do those things. No.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's why most of the articles of incorporation or board manuals like this will specify at least 50% must be present in the room at the same time, either in person or through telephonic means, et cetera, et cetera. So they're all there together, and you don't get these, 2 people met, then that one person went and met with 2 other people, and then that person went and met with 3 other, and we all agree coincidentally.
That's a good term for it, walking quorum. It makes sense now.
I never heard that until just now because it's not even something that I would even have considered existed until I just read it.
But yeah, you're right. That's got to be what it is. On August 10th, 2022, Defendant Superintendent Damon Means emailed the board a link to a Google document for shared feedback leading up to a planned meeting on August 17th to discuss the strategic plan. The strategic plan is a comprehensive policy document that guides and informs board committees, directs district employees, and informs the public of the board's overall goals. The strategic plan approval process therefore requires board members to work together to determine a comprehensive policy. The shared documents, strategic plan draft, in the electronic collaboration form is one, actually a policy discussion between board members and therefore a meeting. Two, absent from the notice for August 17th public meeting to discuss the secret strategic plan draft and is attached to this complaint. So what they're saying is that email was a meeting and they should have done it in front of the public, right? You can't share a Google Doc and be all working together on a Google Doc, planning strategic policy, not in front of the public.
This is a really messed up school board.
Please elaborate.
Well, it's just, why do you have secret anything?
Because they're so corrupt.
No, that's why I'm so glad that the school board that I'm on here, the International School of Busan board, has 10 people. And in the nearly 20 years I've been on the board, we've had no factions, no cliques. There's been 2 people that have been on the board in that entire time that had any agenda, and they were quickly weeded out because we don't put up with this stuff. And our meetings are closed, but we were accused of having secret meetings and doing illegal things. So we opened up the board meeting. About half of the parents showed up for one. The next month, about a third of the half showed up. And then about 3 months down the road, they're like, these are the most boring, lame meetings we've ever seen. And so nobody came and we closed them again. So just be above board, open your books, keep copies of everything, publish your minutes, publish your records. And weirdly, nothing bad happened. But the school board, some people have, some of these school boards have such power, and it's like an influential, literal power peddling position to be on these school boards. So you get people fighting and buying and electioneering and things just to get on a school board.
Which is so weird. But my dad was making this point on a phone call I had with him the other day. He said, you don't understand. This is how people are. The second they get that title, I'm a school board member, suddenly it just all goes to the head and they think they deserve special parking places and restaurant, reservations, and everyone should get off the sidewalk when they walk by. It's bizarre. It's such a small little thing to be doing, and yet these people get really puffed up with the power that comes along with it.
Well, it's usually the lower the position, the more power someone perceives themselves as having.
Yeah, like this
on the dog catcher,
library.
Yeah,
like the stupid library board. Like you're on a library board. Like you're nobody, and yet they behaved like they were kings and princes, like ordering people where to sit and how to behave. Like it was absurd.
The children will sit in semicircles during story hour.
You should have seen how they treated us in the public meetings. Those people, they were just out of their minds. It was laughable. In fact, I had senior attorneys at Kirkland Ellis who watched our videos, and I was told by the other attorneys who worked there that their bosses were staying late into the night just to watch these things and like rolling around laughing at how funny these people are, because they really believe that they hold this power they can wield over people, and they just don't. And it's just ridiculous. All right. So the board planned to vote on August 22 on the document created in secret. So they create this Google document in secret, and then they plan to vote on it in the public meeting so they don't have to discuss it. That's what they're supposed to do in the public meetings. They're supposed to discuss how they make the decisions they make. They're not supposed to discuss it on a Google Doc and then just come in and vote. That's not how it works. 5 defendant board members collectively participated in drafting the shared strategic plan draft, including notes and comments identifying the board member author. Uh-oh. The plaintiff, Michael Meyer, did not participate in the shared drafting of the strategic plan draft because of his concerns that drafting a shared document leading up to a vote on a substance of the document that identifies individual board members' policy preferences violated the open meetings law. He's the only smart one on the board, clearly. He's the only one with a
So far, yeah.
average to higher than average IQ. During the August 17th public discussion of the strategic plan already drafted by the board in private, early in the meeting, Superintendent Damon Means made reference to Means' knowledge of previously discussed views of Michael Meyer. Defendant Board President Jessup Anger recognized Meyer to respond to Dr. Means, but then cut off Meyer from speaking because the plaintiff had not participated in the secret drafting of the strategic plan in the electronic collaboration form.
Wow.
What?
Now, I think that we should shut up. You can't comment. You were in our secret meeting. You don't know what's in the document because we didn't tell you. So just sit down and shut up.
This is so insane. Oh my God.
Dr. Meyer, Mr. Myers, were you at the secret meeting? Did you get the secret password? Well, no, and shut the fuck up, sit down. Oh no.
Wait, you know what else is funny about this? They cut him off. He's a board member. Do you remember what the board president said to me when they cut me off? He literally went into a soliloquy about how he cannot be cut off because a member of the board, once they're given the floor, cannot be cut off. He literally said that to me. In fact, I'm going to send this to Michael Meyer. We have to hear him say it because, wait, he completely, what's the word, contradicted himself in his response to me by claiming that you cannot cut off a board member. A board member has to be allowed to speak. Oh, yeah?
I think he meant only those board members who went to the secret meeting can speak, maybe, you know.
Wait,
Right.
we have
Hello,
to
my
see
name
it
is Megan.
at the end because he does.
No time limits.
Here we go.
Our rules.
Here it is.
The chair does not have authority under our rules to cut off a board member. We have no time limits. So I can just keep talking here once you recognize me. But to
Look at how
say
uncomfortable they are.
whether you
Just said they can't do the thing that they did to Michael Meyer, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did it anyway because apparently they do whatever they want. Whenever they want. This is really good.
This is a poorly run board.
You think?
Just saying.
How do you think they're going to do in front of a judge?
I hope the judge has. Well, the judge has kids in the school. Probably he would probably have to recuse himself. But any judge with children that sent them to any kind of school are going to be just appalled by this.
This is pretty appalling. It's not that hard to be on a public board and follow the rules. The rules are very clearly laid out. We have evidence that they were trained in them, but they clearly are just doing what they want whenever they want. All right, number 32, Meyer objected and cited a right to respond. Meyer also objected to being cut off for non-participation in a possibly unlawful pre-meeting shared document process. One theme of this complaint is that the shared strategic plan draft constitutes a closed meeting that was never noticed because 2 or more members of the board were discussing public business outside of an open meeting, and the fruits of the closed meeting were the basis for the action on August 22nd, 2022. Moreover, the public discussion of the strategic plan draft was largely unwarranted because although the board approved and discussed an amendment in public on August 22nd, the board had already substantially decided on strategic plan draft content in secret with the use of the electronic document. When the plaintiff tried to discuss the unlawfully crafted strategic plan draft so the public could participate in democratic scrutiny of the board in the open meeting of August 17, the board retaliated against the plaintiff by cutting off his ability to fully participate in the strategic plan process in that meeting.
Solid.
I can't do any of this. This is not how any of this works. On August 3, the board sought input from the public about changes to the sexual education curriculum, otherwise known as human growth and development curriculum, that you all will remember is showing graphic images of genitalia to second graders, okay? Through an internet access, the district allowed members of the public to submit information without implementing any controls over who could submit information. The public apparently noticed unrestricted access, and various groups within and without the district sought to influence the survey outcome. As a result, the public completed many surveys. The outcome of the survey conflicted with the political opinions of a faction of the board.
Okay.
The board faction secretly ordered district employees to remove some of the surveying or to scrub the data of the suspected out-of-district surveys during the weekend preceding the vote on Monday, August 22nd, 2022. I don't think they can do that. If they didn't set up proper parameters for their own survey, can they just willy-nilly go in and delete stuff?
It sort of undermines the credibility of the survey.
A little.
Just slightly. I mean, it sounds like they literally just put up on some website with no ID check, nothing, and then everybody else found out about it and sent it to their friends and just jumped on some open website and voted on this.
Right. But
So
I mean,
the Tammany Hall thing, vote often.
If they were dumb enough, though, to not close it to registered email users or whatever, just registered people in the
Parents of
district.
children, whatever.
This is your fault, like your fault. Not you don't get to go in and then like willy-nilly delete stuff that you think might be out of district. These people they get really triggered by out of district people, by the way. Really triggered. They think nobody outside the district should have any say-so or opinion on what they're doing, which I find stupid. I think every person who lives anywhere in this country has a right to make comments or have opinions on what this board is doing. But they don't. They don't even want you to be able to speak there unless you live in the district.
I'm weirded. I don't have a huge problem with that. I mean, it's good to get opinions from everywhere, but I mean, the school board deals with the children in that school district.
Yeah, except that the stuff they do can and does impact the next district over and the district over after that, and frankly, across the whole country.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of ambivalent towards. I'm more concerned with the political factions on the board. I hate that. It should be the best interests of the children, not political groups, not what agenda you want to push. And the fact that it doesn't even sound like a majority. It sounds like a small, I don't know why, but to me, it sounds like a small portion of the board.
Yeah.
You'd think a faction sounds like less than a majority.
Well, so far, I think we've identified Leanne and the other Michael, and then the board president. Tim Pools, Yalma Kabini, thanks for the super chat, says, catching up, grew up in Mokina. That's where I lived before I moved to New York. That's funny. The other problem with the Lane Bryant murder is that the shopping center is right off I-80, could have been in Indiana in minutes. And I'm sure he was. Yes, I think that's why catching him was never an option. It's terrible. The Idaho, I was saying earlier that the Idaho murders reminded me of the Lane Bryant murders that were never solved because it was just the perfect storm of no evidence, and guy got away and nothing on camera and just nothing. All right, so let's see. The board faction. Wow. Okay, the faction of the board asserted that the purpose of the response data scrubbing was to eliminate surveys from outside the district. In the open board meeting of August 22, board member Jessica Willis made comment. She's the one that looks like a rugby player, by the way, made comment to the effect that the original survey data was compromised as a reason to the removal of some survey responses during the weekend immediately preceding the vote of August 22. Neither the board nor the district management have responded to requests for public records regarding the methods used to scrub the survey, and have not responded to requests for the identities of the board members who directed the removal of some survey responses. The entire board did not make the decision to scrub the survey data. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The board did not make the decision to scrub the survey at a public meeting. So when did they make it? That's the question. The ongoing actions of the members of the Wauwatosa School Board in resistance to principles of the open meetings law have effectively and substantially thwarted the ability of an elected member of a local Wisconsin school board from performance of his duties in good faith compliance and as an equal member of an elected school board of 7 members serving the community of Wauwatosa, where, of course, good faith mistakes happen and a responsible board culture will self-police. Not this one. Don't count on it. In the actual board culture, mistakes are covered up instead of policed. Retaliation against compliance and further secrecy have recurred, and thoughtless acceptance of some board members conducting business out of sight of the public and out of sight of other elected board members is the outcome. Count 1. Open meetings law violation. That on December 9th, 2021, the board and Stephen Doman violated Wisconsin statute 19.83, the open meetings law, by discussing public records responses in a closed session meeting not noticed for that purpose, and thereby violated Wisconsin statute 19.83 for non-noticed closed session content and 19.85 for discussing a non-exempt topic in closed session.
Oops.
Count 2. Another open meetings law violation. In the spring of 2022, defendant Doman and the board violated Wisconsin statute 19.83, again, the open meetings law, by appointing a policy committee in secret and by meeting and working in secret. You can't do that
That's
either.
kind of the opposite of open meetings, isn't it? It's like literally the definition opposite of open meetings.
Yes, no, it's not the Wisconsin Secret Meetings Act.
Yeah.
If that's what the legislature had meant, they would have named it that. Count 3, another one, open meetings law violation. On or about August 10th, the board violated Wisconsin statute 19.83 by conferring within a Google document for shared feedback and deliberation leading up to a planned meeting on August 17th to discuss the strategic plan that would be presented for board action. Count number 4, another open meetings law violation. And he's let's see, in the weekend immediately preceding August 22 vote of the Human Growth and Development Curriculum, a faction of the board violated 19.83 of the open meetings law by directing district employees to scrub Human Growth and Development survey data in secret. Wow, these people. Oh, and here's another one, 19.89 violation, exclusion of member from a meeting. So the account from excluding him from the process for the removal of selected survey responses from the survey data pool to be used for the August 22nd action on human growth and development curriculum. Wow, these people. Relief requested.
All right. What does he want out of this?
What does he want? Judgment finding of Wisconsin statute 19.83 open meetings law violation in the board meeting of December 9th for unnoticed content and for content that was not Wisconsin statute exempt from the open meetings law requirement. Judgment finding of violation. So he wants a judgment of violation on all the things that he just listed. So I don't need to read all those again. Yep, data scrubbing. He wants a judgment against all these things. He doesn't appear to be asking for anything but attorney's fees and costs.
Well, in 53, he asked for the decision to be voided.
Oh, right. What did I miss? Let's see. Oh, yeah. To be voided and rescinded as unlawful. That's interesting. Good catch. Because if that is the case, that means that that awful curriculum, the groomer curriculum, will be moot, right?
Yeah, they have to do the survey again. And
yeah, they'll have to go through it all again.
54 is probably asking for a similar thing.
54, judgment finding the member was excluded from the meeting, and therefore the approval of August 22nd is ordered voided and rescinded as unlawful. Further, to order the Wauwatosa School Board to comply with Statute 19.89, thereby to cease and desist from decision-making that does not include participation of the full membership of the board. Should a judge have to tell them this? This is so bad.
You didn't do this, so he wants them to say that because they didn't do that, their decision is void and has to be done away with, and we have to do it again the right way.
And he wants them ordered that they are never to do this again, which I agree they should be. But I personally think they should also get fined somehow. Like, I'm sure there's fines for this. In Illinois, violations of the Open Meetings Act are a Class C misdemeanor that can come with up to $5,000 and 5 years in jail. $5,000 fines and 5 years in jail. They never give out the jail time, but they should. Yeah. I think they should. So he's asking for attorney's fees and costs. And that just went in on November 23rd.
Wow, that's a disaster. It's not good.
That's a pretty good complaint, if you ask me. It sounds to me like they really can't do any of those things.
Look, don't know what the school board side of it is or what their response is going to be, but it's a very well written document. In that, from what I've heard and from what I've read, it looks like they have a very, very valid point, which is the way it should be. If it's like certain complaints and things you read where you read through it and you go, okay, well, this doesn't sound good. I mean, this is poorly written. I don't know what you're not convincing me. We should walk away from this initial complaint going, well, hey, I think he's right. That means they crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's, and they've presented their evidence correctly in the complaint. So
it does
not good.
It doesn't sound good for the board. I'll tell you that much.
No,
now, apparently there has been a board response, and I guess they read it at one of their public meetings recently, but
surprise.
They read it at the public meeting, of course. I don't have the time to go through that right now because it's like an hour video. But what I am going to do is I will play that while I am doing my chores today, and I'll pull out the relevant parts, and maybe we'll go through it tomorrow. What are you up to tomorrow, Jeff?
I don't know. Certainly not sleeping. Apparently, it's like 3:30 in the morning here now.
Oh gosh, I've been all off my sleeping schedule too. I'm all whacked out since Nick's birthday stream. I was up till 4:30, and then ever since then I can't go to bed before 2. So I screwed up my sleeping schedule, and now I'm just exhausted all the time.
Well, you can just go late night cruising at lumber stores and whatnot. Auto zones.
The auto zones. Since that stream, I've had 3 people now contact me to say I met my husband at an auto parts shop.
Oh, that's funny.
So it can happen. I'm not crazy. It's possible.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh no, I got nothing going on. We're just I was actually just uploading some stuff and getting things prepared for a really nasty stream tomorrow about this woman who allegedly killed her 20-month-old baby and threw him in a dumpster and dropped him in a landfill, and then did the whole, oh, where's my baby? I hope you find my baby thing for a month.
No.
Yeah, she's a lovely jewel called Leilani Simon is her.
Oh no, when is she going on trial? Is that started already?
She just got arrested, so they set her bond hearing and was denied. So
oh, what a terrible case.
Oh, it is, and it's just one of those things like disaster surrounds everybody. Her mother was arrested for some other violation, but her boyfriend, who was the father of the dead baby, lost his baby. While the baby was still missing, his mother died. And then they found the baby, and then like a week later, his dad died. So his poor father of this baby is just like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's a horrible case. Like everybody has died or been arrested except for the father of the baby. So yeah, we're gonna deep dive into that tomorrow.
I often wonder how people who suffer that kind of trauma, how they survive it. Like how do you survive such a terrible thing? Such terrible things to happen to you in succession like that is just awful. Gosh.
To lose your mother, your baby, and your father all in the space of 2 weeks.
Yeah. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't know how people survive it. I thank God every day that I haven't had that kind of trauma in my life because, my God, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it without, biting a bullet. I don't. But boy, that sounds kind of interesting, though.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas stuff.
Well, let's hope that justice is done, because that's the kind of case that you really want to see. A justice statuette says, I need to roam the AutoZone. Wait, Sinbad, look, my daughter met her soulmate 2 years ago at Advanced Auto. I told you.
Well, in a way, I guess I could see if you're a dude and you're in the AutoZone, like any woman that comes in knowing about cars, you can be like, hey, this is a smart one. Let's talk to her.
Mr. Fox told me he met a couple of girls at the auto parts store, and I was just bullshitting. I was just coming up with shit that would make them laugh. So when I said, I'm like, well, what about the auto parts store? It just came up off apparently it's a hot spot for the singles.
Well, yeah, as long as you're not like, let me mansplain this air filter to you. If it's like some of this, like she comes in, she looks for a specific part. She's got a serial number for whatever wrench she needs. Like, hey, she's a keeper.
Oh God. I got to tell you, I need some mansplaining when I'm in the auto parts shop, though, badly, because I don't know what the hell I'm looking for. So I'm always looking for someone to mansplain something to me in there.
I do too. Me, I rattle the car. I rattle the battery cables. I jumpstart. If that doesn't work, I pay someone to fix it for me.
T-Rope says my neighbor actually works at AutoZone. And I'll tell you one thing, I ain't inviting her over anytime soon. Woof.
Rosie the Riveter.
Woof. Oh. Okay, so tonight I'm doing well, first I'm going on with Andrew at 6 o'clock. I don't know. It could be a setup, Jeff. I'm not sure. I don't know what's happening there. Anyway, I'm going on with Andrew, Legal Mindset, at 6 p.m. And then at 8 o'clock, don't forget, if you are not on my locals, you need to be, because it is movie night tonight. We're watching Casey Anthony, episode 3. You should be there with me. I'm the cheapest hoe in town on locals. It's only $3 a month. It's only $3. And if you use my promo code PANTS, you get a full free month discount. And once you sign up, you get the link. You'll get it. It's pinned at the top of the page. To join us tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to watch this bitch try to convince us that she didn't have something to do with killing her kid. And it really is. It's icky, but it's also fun.
Has been compared to the Casey Anthony case.
Interesting. Did she party? Was she out partying while her kid was missing?
By partying, you mean doing shots with her mother in bars every night and hooking up with her drug dealer? Yeah.
Oh, no. How long was the kid missing?
1 month exactly.
Oh, that's so similar. Well,
yeah.
Kaylee was missing longer than that, but the month-long partying spree was like 31 days before the cops were alerted. I mean, just in Casey Anthony's case. What a terrible thing. What time is your stream tomorrow, Jeff?
It'd be 8 a.m. Eastern.
8 a.m. is, so if you guys want to hear an in-depth into this new case, what's her name?
Leilani Simon.
Leilani Simon, who apparently is being charged with, is she being charged with murder or manslaughter?
19 counts in dealing with the murder. Like I have to read the complaint before tomorrow so I know what I'm talking about. But somehow 2 counts of aggravated murder from 1 death. So I'm curious to how that works out. I've just watched the news stories. I got a hold of. I just got a hold of the complaint when I was listening to you. So I haven't read the actual complaint yet.
And then Stephanie says, "Why are you so cheap?" I'm cheap because I didn't know what I was going to do with locals at first, and I didn't really get ramped up, and so I didn't want it to be too expensive. And now that I know what I'm doing and I'm using it all the time, well, it's going up to $5 a month in January. But right now, you can get in at $3 a month for the whole year with a free month on me, promo code PANTS. It's never going to be this cheap again. So
Pants or prison.
That's right. Oh, I don't know.
Wow, so you're going on with Andrew, one-on-one.
Is that a bad idea? Did I make a
No,
mistake?
it's not. Well, we'll find out after.
Everyone thinks it's a setup. It's a setup. Keep your bitch switch on while they're after you. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a nice person. I've got no ill will towards anybody. I don't know why anybody would be after me. But you know.
Yeah. It's just have fun.
We'll all try.
Just have fun.
One of my children might have an emergency in the middle of it if it gets too bad.
Nah, and Andrew's mostly harmless.
Mostly, yeah. Well, a small victory says his chat will be rough. Well, I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to make eye contact with the chat. The chat, I have a new motto: fuck the chat, and I don't give a shit what the chat has to say because the chat is not in charge of me. Period. What's the promo code on locals? It's pants. Pants.
Okay.
All right, then. All right. So that's what's going on tonight. Tomorrow, Larry Foreman, DUI guy, is going to be here with me. We are going to watch more of the Casey Anthony trial. We are going to watch George Anthony's testimony, which is really weird. It's really weird. I've watched it back, and now we're going to watch it on the stream tomorrow because we're all still into this documentary, and we're just kind of rewatching highlights of the trial. And this one is weird. So Larry's going to be here tomorrow, and he's interested in this case, and so it's going to be fun. I've never streamed with Larry before, so it'll be fun. DUI guy will be here tomorrow at 11. But I'm going to tune in to see Legal Vices at 8 because I want to know about this case. This new weird.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it sounds awful. But thank you for being here, Jeff, for popping in.
Yeah, not a problem.
And
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not like I'm doing anything else.
Maybe you can get some sleep now.
I will now. Yeah.
All right. Well, you take
get my 4
care,
hours.
and I'll see you in the morning. I'll be tuning in for that.
Oh, I'll be tuning in for you and Andrew too. Don't worry about that.
Oh no! All right.
Wouldn't miss that one.
Can you pop in and save me if it goes sideways? I'll send you a link just in case.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's the
Don't
problem.
worry about it. Famous last words.
As the number of people on the stream increase, the chances of it going off the rails increases exponentially.
This is true.
I mean, one-on-one things are good. That's why I never do anything more than 4, maybe 5 if there's an extreme situation. If you get more than 5 people, you're guaranteed for it to turn into a raving shit show.
I do not believe I will ever be doing that again. Don't think so. I think one-on-one is perfect. I think 4 is fine too. The stream we did before Nick's birthday with Joe and me and Robert Barnes and Sean, potentially criminal, was great. Like it was a fantastic stream. It was so much fun and so funny and so informative. It was great. Going beyond that, it's just tough. It's tough, especially when you don't know everybody and you don't know what's going on, and like you can't pay attention either. It's almost impossible to pay attention to what everyone is saying, so you miss so much.
Well, nobody is a YouTube live streamer because they're a wallflower with nothing to say. And then you get 10 people that all want to be the center of attention, all talking over each other. It can either be really fun or it can be the way it usually is and just an absolute disaster.
It was fun for a while.
Until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't. It was fun until it wasn't.
I had fun watching the whole thing. I was just sad that Nick had to tap out. Like, right. I just kept telling you, keep it going for another hour. Keep it going. Because I said, what are the odds of you finishing this at this time? By the time I finish work, he said, man, not good at all. I'll be going really late. And he literally tapped out 1 minute after I finished my work. So I'm like, no.
Yeah, well, he was almost gone when we joined the stream. Like Nick was almost he was completely incoherent.
Well, he was drinking the good 60% stuff.
Yeah.
So whenever I do the drinking streams, I stick to right around 40%. You can go longer.
You can go longer. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, but I think Nick was pretty lit just even in the beginning. So it just got
good. It's his birthday. You can do
he
what
should
he
be.
wants.
He should be, absolutely. It was funny. It was funny for a while. But yeah, it got weird. So what does that mean? Stephanie says, Jeff, can we see the stockings? You mean the stockings hanging on the wall?
Oh my. That's just my bulldog stocking there.
What did you get him for Christmas?
Nothing yet. I got like 3 days to work that out. Just something to eat, probably. Toys and food. They're dogs. What do they know? I'm just gonna like take the toys out of their toy box and stuff them back in there and give it to them again. The ones they haven't played with recently.
I got Archie Ruckus a new flyer because he loves a Frisbee. He loves to chase the Frisbee, but he's a German Shepherd and he destroys every Frisbee I've ever bought him. And I found
English
one.
bulldogs don't chase anything.
I found one that's like a Kong made out of that Kong stuff. And I think maybe he won't be able to destroy it, but that's always my goal, is just to find him something he can't destroy. So far, I've been unsuccessful.
The Kong things are the only things that bulldogs won't destroy.
Isn't that something? They have such powerful jaws, huh?
Yeah, and then those little lumps, they don't chase anything.
Well, they have a hard time moving around. They're just so fat.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's why I got them. We share a lifestyle. Just eat and lay on the sofa in front of the TV.
Wasn't it you that said your dog, if a murderer came into your house,
specifically that one
would lead them to the weapons and then to you?
Well, Strawberry there, she just loves people. It's like they say English bulldogs aren't guard dogs, they're alarm dogs. They won't protect you, but they'll just let you know when someone is there that they can play with.
Yes.
That's exactly what they do. She'll be like, oh, look, I have a new friend. Look where we keep the jewelry. And here's the sharp object. Let's go meet my owner.
Yes. Oh, Mr. Fox
We
says
can all play together.
he doesn't want a dog after this one goes. And I think, I don't know how to live without a dog. I don't know. I literally don't know how to live without a dog, because I can't sleep at night without a dog guarding the door. I don't know what it is, but I've just always had a dog. And so when I go through periods of time where we don't have a dog, I have insomnia. So I don't know how he expects me to sleep, but what is this? Steve Trammell says, news reports white Hyundai found abandoned. Yeah, they said it has nothing to do with it, which is what they say about everything in that case. Nothing is related, Jeff. Nothing. They don't have a suspect. Nothing is related. They have no idea. So that's where we're at for this True Crime Tuesday. It's time to call it a day. I appreciate you, Jeff. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
And I know you'll be watching. I'll be texting you at 6:00. So stand by. Stand by. All right, everybody, MeganFox.locals.com. Don't forget to check me out there and sign up, because tonight's True Crime movie night, and we're doing it with popcorn, with cocktails, and you need to be there. All right, everybody, take care.
Lost, my world is near its end. I almost felt my head is full of a million choices. I am alive, I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices. Oh, and my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say. No, I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say goodbye. This time I know my road is near its end. I almost felt my head is full alive, I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices, and my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say. No, I don't wanna say goodbye.
So I take Johnny's problem is he should come storming in there with a string of garlic and some holy water. May the power of Christ compel you.
No, I don't.
He realized his house was infested with succubuses.
Of what it, yes.
Succuloters.
When you arrived in the afternoon. I don't remember saying it now. So while she
No wonder he said drown her before you burn her.
Oh my God.
You-
Your next witness?
Now I know why you wanted to drown her.
And that is
Witness
also
lives in
by
Romania.
video.
Is that correct?
That begins with Ms. Vasquez.